March 29th marks 50 years since the end of American involvement in the Vietnam War. The war claimed the lives of over 58,000 soldiers. Vietnam veterans and their families gathered at the North Dakota State Capitol for a special ceremony today. Justin Gick is here to tell their story. Justin?
Monica, good evening to you. 1955 to 1975 was a troubling time. The 2.7 million soldiers who fought in the Vietnam War were not honored at that time, but today they received the recognition they deserved.
Very similar to Hawaii when we pulled into Hawaii with the palm trees. It was kind of a surreal, but once we started getting our assignments and actually starting to fire the big guns, that's when you realize that this wasn't a vacation spot.
Jim Nelson served aboard a ship in the U.S. Navy during the Vietnam War. He started his first tour of duty in June of 1969. The first time he experienced loss during the conflict was when his ship was involved in a training accident that claimed 74 of his shipmates. Although these soldiers were putting their lives on the line for our country, many Americans at home really opposed our involvement in the war. When soldiers came home from Vietnam, they were not always treated well in public.
When you come walking down the corridor in the airport, everybody moved away from you and it was like you were poisoned.
We were approached by a long-haired flower child of the time, and he yelled some nastiness at us, and we were both spit on.
Attitudes today have changed, and portions of the Vietnam War Memorial Wall were displayed at the Capitol for people to stop and remember those who paid the ultimate sacrifice. The losses from that war are still painful all these years later.
58,000 plus. And that's just the ones that were killed in action or missing in action, to include my brother-in-law as one of the KIAs.
And think how many presidents, how many famous authors, painters never had a chance. You know, there's always an empty seat, even 50 years later.
As taps played, all the veterans in the room took the time to reflect not only on their fallen brothers and sisters, but why they chose to fight in this war.
Our job, the Army's motto is, this we will defend. This is freedom that we defend. And we don't own freedom. We're the caretakers of it.
To make the veterans of this war feel like their service was appreciated, Governor Burgum signed a proclamation making March 29th officially Vietnam Veterans Day. In Bismarck, I'm Justin Gick reporting for your news leader.
Well, Justin, the recognition is so important, but what else did you learn from the veterans today?
You know, Monica, it was really interesting. I mean, I knew a little bit about the Vietnam War, and I knew about, you know, how the veterans were treated when they came home. But I mean, hearing people like Americans when they returned home, just, you know, spitting at them, just saying profanities. And, you know, they also were telling me that, you know, Agent Orange was used, which was a chemical, you know, from our planes. They were in jungles, but, you know, they're having health effects all these years later from that Agent Orange. So, I mean, it was really powerful just being there and listening to all these people who have served before us.
Yeah, they really did sacrifice. So thank you so much.